Hello, welcome to Aliens on the C64. Now there were actually two versions of Aliens on the Commodore 64, and this is what's known as the UK version, which was released by Electric Rooms, and the US version was released by Activision. Now it's loosely based on the James Cameron film, and what you do is you take control of six members of the team, and I can't remember, I think you've got to find Newt and destroy the alien queen's eggs, I think, and then exit the base. I don't know. I've never completed it. It's always been a bit hazy. Now, the way the game is played is it's played in first person, and you control this little cursor here. If you move to the left and right of the screen, it scrolls round. This is you basically rotating around the room. It would have been nice to have a compass so you know which way you're facing, because it gets a bit disorientating. What you do is you put the cursor through a door and you press space, then you move to the next room. You can see that I'm controlling Ripley and I'm in room 2. If you look at the status panel, what you do is you press the first letter of each person's name to jump to that person. So if I press G, I go back to Gorman. There I am. Now you can give commands to people. You can say Gorman, go west 2 rooms, things like that. I can't quite know how to do that, but so let's. It does get a bit disorienting because there's several doors, obviously, into each room, but you've got to really travel through them to know which way it's going, because there's no compass on the screen. I think this is quite a big flaw of the game. There's not a lot of sound effects in the game, I'm afraid. What is there is good and atmospheric. Now, eventually you will come across a room that's got an alien in it, and what happens is if you're not controlling that character when the alien is in the room, the person's name will flash and an alarm will sound, and you can jump to that person. You've got a limited number of times to shoot the alien before he comes at you and takes you out. So I'm just going to keep travelling in this direction. Oops, I just shut that door. Oops. So there's an alien, there he is. There we go. The aliens themselves are quite effective, especially when they walk towards you. I think they're quite scary. Well, they certainly were back in the day. You can see Gorman, he's starting to slow down now, which means he needs a rest. You can see his energy bar is almost at 0, so if I flip back to Ripley. Oh, that's the wrong way, it's back at room 1. Now what the game doesn't come with, it doesn't come with a map. You have to make your own. Well, there were several featured in magazines of the day, and some of them are wrong, but it's quite a huge. I'm not quite sure how many rooms there are, but I mean, there must be at least 100, probably more. But this version I'm playing is an enhanced version by the Remember Cracking Group. So if I press M now, it flicks to this map, which the game should have came with in the first place, but this is a feature it didn't come with. But this tells me, well, if I go back, I'm in room number 1. You can see that's on the left hand side. There's various other. You see there's quite a lot of rooms here actually. Let's have a look. Well, there appears to be 255 rooms, which sounds about right for an 8-bit game, appropriately. Yeah, so special rooms are the armory, control room, generating room, medical, and finally the Queen's Chamber. Ripley's starting to get tired. Whoops. This is where it's not so good to be tired. Oh, there we go. Now you can see that alien's left some acid on the floor, which means I can't go through that door without taking some damage. So I've got to wait for that acid to sort of evaporate. let's go back to Gorman. Yeah, so graphically, I mean the levels they vaguely resemble the style of the film, but there's not much in the way of variety. But then you could say that of the film. I mean the film is set in a complex, really, mostly set in a complex of similar architecture. So I suppose it's following the film in that regard. Some levels have this slime over some of the walls. You got to shoot it to see if there's any doors behind it or anything like that. No, there's no doors there. Yeah, so the graphics are mostly red and blue. Some levels are black because they're not lit. If you, oops, Ripley's in trouble. Yeah, if you shoot your gun in these levels that are not lit, then it will illuminate the level. Just a flash of the gun. Let's come back to Conan. I mean, that's pretty much all the game's got to offer. There's not a lot here really, but it is a single load, and it is quite atmospheric. But yeah, the gameplay could have been a bit more involved, I think. But yeah, for its time, it was okay. I mean, it's not the worst movie tie-in I've ever played, to be fair. But it's certainly far from the best. What will I give this? Well, to be honest, I like the atmosphere in the game, but the actual gameplay is not particularly thrilling, to be honest. I mean, if you play it late at night, or back in the day, if you played it late at night, you know, probably quite good experience to play. But these days, it's not aged well, to be honest. It's not a bad game in any way, but it's just the gameplay just doesn't have anything much to offer. So I'll give this 5 out of 10. I think just because the gameplay's pretty average, to be honest. And if it wasn't for the atmosphere of the game, I might have even given it less. Yeah, I think 5 out of 10 is a fair score. That's all for this video.